Hey beauties, and welcome back. In this video I am going to do my eyebrows, and I am using the ABH gel pomade in this one, and I am going to fill in my eyebrows right now, one side at a time. I've already outlined my eyebrows off camera so I can speed it up. So this is the eyebrow routine for every day. And here I am just filling in, not really creating anything, just filling in my brows, starting from the front and then to the back. Next, I am using my e.l.f. eyeshadow primer that I recently purchased from my TJ Maxx and Marshall's haul. I am actually trying this product out for the very first time, and I'll be honest, it came out a little chalky, just a little bit, but after I spread it out and use I actually use a different brush off camera to set it, to brush it out. And then next, this is the translucent powder that I'm setting my shadow base onto my eyes. This part I am doing my eyeshadow with a Profusion Basic palette that I purchased from the store near my job, and I am going to use the nude one and brush across my lid back and forth. This one, I'm not too sure about this palette. I had to keep tapping it just to get some color out, so it's a little pigmented but not what I'm used to. I'm using the Revolution palette that I got from my TJ Maxx and Marshall's haul. This one isn't as pigmented. So here I am using the Maybelline mascara, the Great Lash, just to coat my lashes before I put my false strip lashes on. And I like to start at the end and work my way into the corner and give a quick little brush, and then start on the other side and do the same thing. I am using the Baby Skin to fill in my pores, just tapping it into my skin as opposed to just rubbing it over. Moving on to Mattify by Revolution Pro, and I'm going to just go into my T-zone area where I have the most oil, so just try to control it and just do a quick brush over my nose and again back over my forehead. So here I have the e.l.f. hydrating primer that I'm going to go over my forehead, my cheeks, and just tap it in. all over my forehead and again in my cheeks area. Color correcting is definitely important. I'm getting my moles, my acne spots, and a couple dark circles on my cheek area. That's where I have the most areas of imperfections. And also some of my neck has a little bit of hyperpigmentation, just a little. And I'm going to take my beauty blender and just press it in, just dab it a few times. Cheek and neck, and over to the other side. Give it a quick little dab. Next, I'm using my Fenty Beauty in the color 330. This is a new color for me. I had to rematch my shade. The other color I had, the 370, was a little too red for me. So I just went back to Sephora and got me another one. Well, exchanged it, got me another one. And I'm taking the same beauty blender and just pressing in the foundation. I always start in my cheek area and then work my way around my whole face, neck. I found this technique to be a little bit more easier as well as effective with just pressing in the product than opposed to just taking a brush and just going all around first. So pressing in first is more effective for me. I am going to highlight with my ColourPop Pretty Fresh underneath of my eyes. Little small strokes, and then I'm going to drag it down. And same thing for the other side, little small strokes and then drag it down. I use both sides of the brush to get the product off. Also in my T-zone area, just a couple small strokes just across. Same thing with down the bridge of my nose and then highlight over my chin. I'm taking my smaller beauty blender and starting in the corners of my eyes. Just give it a slight tap and then just even it out on all the way around. Same thing here. Start in the corner and bring it outward. And then my forehead, the same thing, the slight taps. And then down the bridge of my nose. And a light brush over across the top of my lip. I'm taking a smaller concealer brush to just blend in very finely underneath of my eye for my highlight. I actually went back over to highlight just a little bit more. And now I'm just blending it in. Same thing on the other eye. Just blending it in. So finally we have the e.l.f. HD powder, and this is my first time using it. I did test it out on my arm. I did think that it was a little light, but I still decided to try it underneath of my eye. This is in the color translucent. So I am just going under my eye and over my highlight. Slight tap starting in the corner. And as you can see here, it does look a little ashy to me. Maybe because of the matte, I'm not sure. But I just went back over it just another time. So I'm using Revolution Banana Deep to highlight in my T-zone area, all the way down the bridge of my nose, my chin. I love this baking powder. And of course, I'm using Laura Mercier in the translucent. This is one of my favorite setting powders. And I'm going to just take a little bit and then start going across. Oh, some of the powder got up my nose. I like to start on my forehead and then work my way down my nose area, and then of course my cheeks. And just not necessarily saturated, but just get enough powder on the brush so that I can dust all over. So back to the Profusion palette in one of the darker nudes, and I am going to give a sweep underneath of my, well, at the waterline, from the end of the corner, I'm sorry, from the end of it to the middle, and then I like to go from the inner to the middle as well. I love this e.l.f. bronzer here in the medium. So now I'm just going to grab my brush, dab it, and then go into my cheeks. This is just my technique that I pretty much taught myself. So dust over the cheekbone and up pretty much to just about my hairline. I'm using the Revolution bronzer, highlighter bronzer. And I'm going to go across where I just put the e.l.f. bronzer just as soon as I can get it open. I'm going to use the same brush to just do quick sweeps over on both sides. I'm using my NYX Butter Gloss, and I am doing light taps because I already have makeup on my lips, so I kind of like that look. And then when you add like a lip gloss, it kind of like just brings it out. So just doing light strokes for the top and for the bottom. And here we are, the finished product. I'm just playing in the mirror and fixing my hair. But yeah, I hope you beauties like my video. And if you like it so much, please give me a big thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe. Thank you. See you in the next video.
Perfect.